So I just wanted to come on here and do a bit of a. Hold on. Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, basically, just a bit of more update the the second day of Me TV Toons. I mentioned basically that in the live stream this morning, they still have a lot to do and everything. All the things they got to work out, like the time zones, like when it comes to the cable providers and everything. And that's getting up to about 200 views already. So thank you guys for that. But I also wanted to come on here and tell you that the reason I kind of acknowledge the fact that it's in its appetizer phase, its initial launch phase, just like, let's say, a game console or a game, you know, I said basically there are still some things they got to work out, and which is one of the reasons, some of these, major outlets like cable providers and dish providers, and even some of the OTA networks are reluctant to put them on to schedule, wanting to schedule it for a later debut. And that's because they got to work out the bugs. And I'll tell you why, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, so here's my remote. This is my Samsung TV. Now, I want you to see something here. I want you to see something here real quickly. So I'm going to go over here. It's friendly TV, right? Now, it was fine yesterday, but watch this. So we're going to go here, and look at that. Now, you can barely tell in the background that, it does feel like they're trying to come back on, like something, is amiss there, right? Now, I want you to watch this. I'm going to go over here to the PlayStation 4, and there's the Ruko. Now, you might say, well, shouldn't it say Ruko? Well, here's the thing. Initially, that was that area that initially, this here was meant for the PlayStation 4 because it's connected to that HDMI switcher. But what happens is that sometimes this remote, when it clicks on here, at times, and it did more so today, will turn on the PS4. Now, what I had to do was unplug the PS4 so that way if I need it, I'll just plug it back in later. But by unplugging the PS4, I can just initially, have the Ruko come on. Now, the Ruko would come on by default. It would come on by default, if I haven't used the PS4 in a while. But like I said, it's got one of those situations, one of those, issues to where when you connect a Fire Stick or a Ruko, if you will, to your television, and via an HDMI switcher, that you got to make sure you have the right kind of HDMI switcher, or else it's going to get a little confused. And instead of going with what you're choosing or with what you want, it's going to go with the primary objective, which is right there, the PS4. But the reason I bring this up is, again, I got the Ruko here, so I'm gonna go over to the Ruko, and then look at this. That's where we're at right now. This is where we're at. It's 8:30. It's 8:30 p.m. It's about 9:15. It's at 9:15 right now Pacific. Now you would think, okay, it should. Let's put the light back on here. You would think that it would go and have this on there, right? Cartoon All Stars. Oh, Bugs Bunny and Friends, right? You'd think it would have that. But no, it has this. And again, that's another issue, as I mentioned earlier, that, a lot of the providers are probably waiting to get worked out, because this right here, Friendly TV, and I'm sure the same with Philo, they're all going off of the, they're all going off the Eastern time zone. Because, as I said earlier, as many people have used an example, especially with WWE going to Netflix in January, basically everything is going to be, via when it's on streaming, everything will be live all at once. So basically, the 12:30 presentation, the 12:30, 11:30 presentation of Tune In With Me will be 8:30. So so that's one thing they also need to work out. That being MeTV Tunes, they need to address that. Hey, if you're watching this through Friendly or Philo, it's going to come on at different times. That's what they need to do. They need to address that, saying, hey, if you live on the West Coast, it's going to come on at 8:30. If you live on, live in the mountain time zone, it's 9:30. Basically Central is going to be 10:30, and so on. They need to address that so that nobody gets confused or doesn't get confused anymore. But again, like I said, that's one of the issues that I think, right now that they are waiting. They're waiting for to work out with when it comes to getting the cable providers and satellite providers and some of the OTA networks to the sub channels, if you will, to put them on. They're waiting for all that time zone situations to be worked out, as well as I showed you, you know, issues to where, again, you go with this and you go right there, you go there. They want to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen, streaming or not. So far, again, like I said earlier, it's pretty good. It's doing good. I like the presentation, but just like with any launch, any initial launch, and everything, initiation, launch, whatever, debut, it's still got a lot of things to work out, a lot of bugs and glitches and stuff to fix before it fully, gets accepted and acknowledged and added on to the cable providers, dish providers, and so on, the OTAs and all that. But anyway, just wanted to come on here, give you a bit of an update to show you what I mean by it's still got some things to work out, as I said in my initial video yesterday, and also follow up on my live stream from this morning. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you've dealt with this so far, depending on how you watch it. And until next time, and do you agree with what I have to say on this? Do you think these are the reasons, why a lot of providers, cable, satellite, dish, direct, OTA, are kind of reluctant to add them on, even streaming are reluctant to add them on until certain things are fixed and taken care of. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I am out.